Hello, everyone. It's Wednesday, June the 26th. Thank you so much for being with us and everything. We'll lead off with something that's really, really terrible, and it's really sad. But we lost a real athlete, and we lost a great young man. From what I understand, his girlfriend is still in pretty tough shape and everything, but this news, the first we heard came out of Barber County, but Keaton McDermott, and and he's nicknamed Beef, and he just had played in the the North-South All-Star game. The football game. He was an outstanding shot put and discus thrower. I don't really know what to say. I mean, he was on his way this fall, to starting his track and field career at West Virginia Wesleyan, and had a tragic car accident, and we lost him. And so for all of his family, I ask for your prayers. For his girlfriend, I ask for your prayers. Surely Kathy and I will be praying for this young man, but and I know we lose people all the time, but this came to us, and I wanted to make mention of it, and I hope we carry that to all the folks that have tragic accidents, and the folks that we lose. So God bless this great man and all his loved ones. So thank you so much. Just an update on hunting regulations in West Virginia, that are coming out. Get all the regulations and just look for them for yourself. Sometimes they can be a little complicated, but the biggest changes include updated dates in the open counties for antlerless deer and fall wild turkey and our black bear season. So get the regulations and look and everything. It's interesting stuff, but the folks that are at DNR continue to do an incredible job and in managing our incredible abundance of wildlife in West Virginia, and it's amazing. It's truly amazing stuff. Today, I am announcing that we've delivered $150,000 in grant funds, $150,000 in grant funds to the West Virginia Foundation for Rape Information and Services. So this will only help us get better and everything and stop these, or do the best we possibly can to stop these terrible, terrible situations and everything that, affect our young ladies. And so this funding also allows us to hire and train a statewide nurse examiner. And this money is really important in our effort to support medical providers, and it improves our response and support. So, more good work that we're able to do, and more funds that we have available and everything to be able to do good stuff. I'm announcing and excited about this all the time because at one time we grew a lot of Christmas trees, and we grew Fraser fir Christmas trees, and so now we're on the look again. Our Christmas in July starts our tradition of looking for West Virginia's next new gigantic Christmas tree that we'll unveil, in December. And so you might remember last year we had an unbelievable 50-foot balsam fir displayed in the South Plaza. It's truly spectacular and everything. So we're looking for the next one and everything. And if you know about someone and everything that's, or you do know yourself of a tree that you've grown and everything yourself, please get in touch. On Monday, if we could recap the day on Monday real quick. We went to WVU. one of the more fascinating things that I've been involved in and everything as your governor. You know, those two individuals right there, Mara on the left, Dr. McLaughlin, and Duncan on the right, and is Dr. Lorimer, you know, both incredible scientists. You know, Mara, Dr. McLaughlin on the left, is up for one of the finalists for the Nobel Peace Prize, and Dr. Lorimer has received the 2024 Fellow of the Royal Society of London, which is like an Oscar award and everything. So it is amazing what they're doing. Astrophysicists, you know, it's, I just can't tell you, you know, how this draws more and more attention to West Virginia University, has more and more of a participation, you know, in bringing us more students, more attention, more goodness to West Virginia. You see President Gee there with us, and I think Gordon has done a magnificent job at the university. And right beside him, Roger Hanshaw, our Speaker of the House, and Roger's done a wonderful job as well. They showed us a little presentation. It would have blown your mind. That's all there is to it, but it was really a special day. Then after that, we went to Cooper's Rock, to the state forest there, and we visited Cooper's Rock, and we were able to announce the first set of stargazing cabins that will be ready this fall. And Chelsea Ruby was there, and Brett McMillian, and what an incredible job both of them have done. The more and more we've been able to invest in our state forest or you know, our state parks, absolutely now we're approaching $250 million that we've invested in our parks and forests and whatever it may be, and absolutely the return is astronomical. More and more people come. I think each and every one of these cabins will have a telescope in it. It's just neat stuff, and they're already just getting booked up, and so I congratulate you know, Brett McMillian, but I'll tell you, Chelsea Ruby, Secretary Ruby, gosh, what a job she's done. Unbelievable. Great time. Good stuff. So, you know, we went to astrophysicists, and then we went to Cooper's Rock. But I'm telling you, just as straight up could be, both of them, as fabulous as they were, they absolutely were topped as we completed today at Stepping Stones. These folks, all they're wanting to do, they're trying to build an adult handicapped playground. And they were short a bunch of money. I frankly don't know what we should be doing that is better than this. I mean, just look at these kids and young adults, and just look at how great they are and the goodness and what they wanted, they needed. Stepping Stones had already raised like $700,000, and literally they needed to get to $2 million. We made up the delta of $1.3 million, and now they're on their way. Like I said, I don't know how it gets any better. And really and truly, us being able with surpluses and everything to be able to get things like this done is absolutely, in my opinion, what we ought to be doing. Now, Coach Nealon's sitting there. Coach Nealon was sitting in a lower chair, and I was sitting on that stool, and there's no question I'm a pretty daggum big guy, and Coach Nealon is just not a great big guy, but he's sitting way down below me, and so a lot of people have had a lot of fun with this picture and everything, and they've kind of made me bigger and him smaller, and you see us doing that right there. My belly's getting bigger too, but nevertheless, Coach Nealon, what an incredible guy, incredible man. what an unbelievable job he did as our coach. But with all that being said, on top of all that, I'd have never known, and we'd have never made the move on stepping stones if he hadn't contacted me and said, Jim, they've done all that they can get to, but this is an unbelievable project, and if there's any way in the world to find a way to help, so we went to work and we got it done. So what an incredible day, and all the love that I could possibly tell you for those incredible young people. You know, I had a, beautiful little, probably 20-year-old girl that walked right up to me, and she looked right at me and she said, I love you. And I said, well, I love you too. And she said, well, I love you more. And I said, well, how about this? We just say it's a tie. We both love each other the same amount. And she said, good enough. But absolutely a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful young girl. And so like I said, Cooper's Rock was great. The astrophysicists were unbelievable. Unbelievable. That's all there is to it. But it doesn't beat this right here. It doesn't beat this. And really and truly, I am really, really proud that we were able to help. And those people, what those people are doing is unbelievable. And we're helping this much, and they're helping this much. God bless each and every one of them. Okay, Kathy, I want to congratulate Kathy again. Kathy brought a new therapy dog to Richwood Middle, and its name, because, the Richwood Lumberjacks, its name, believe it or not, was Jack, and so J-A-X. So Jax is there, and you can see he's already doing really good, and it's great stuff. That program is out of sight. That's all there is to it. Last thing I got to report is Baby Dog's summer list and is in full swing, and I'm thrilled to announce that we visited breathtaking, like I said, Cooper's Rock, and she explored one of the trails and had a little hike there, and they've got a couple pictures of that and everything. But nevertheless, I want to tell everyone, and don't forget, everyone is encouraged to participate in the West Virginia Summer Bucket List Challenge, and which includes 10 must-visit attractions, and so, get online and check all those out and everything. Beautiful places in this unbelievable state. That's all I've got. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Governor. We'll now take questions from members of the media. Our first question today, Mark Curtis with Nexstar Media.
Good afternoon, Governor. Good morning. Good morning. I'm checking my watch. Good afternoon or good morning, fellow reporters and staffers. Governor, I want to circle back to a question I asked you last week to get an update because we are just 4 days left in the fiscal year now. What preliminary numbers, if any, are you getting with regard to the revenue situation in terms of whether it will trigger a 10% tax cut or perhaps a lesser amount? I'm hearing it maybe only 2 or 3% in the state income tax cut. And I want to frame the question, and how important is it to keep reducing the state's personal income tax and get it down to zero? What do you think that will do in terms of attracting business and workers to the state? And how important is it? And is this year going to get us continuing on that path after the 21% last year?
Mark, I don't know how to be more blunt than just this. We need so badly to continue on that path. I mean, at the end of the day, if West Virginia could advertise today that West Virginia has no personal income tax, it would be unbelievable of the goodness that would come to this state. We need to continue on. We absolutely need to do what I've said over and over. Mind the store properly. Now, you're only going to have me for just a little while longer. And in that, my message to everybody would be just this: be smart. Don't blow our own legs off. I mean, for crying out loud, be smart as we go forward, but be aggressive as you can possibly be, because there is nothing, and I've said it in the State of the States multiple times, in the State of the States, there is nothing that will motivate growth in this state like getting rid of your personal income tax. And if we don't watch out, other states are trying to do the same thing now. And if we don't watch out, we're going to awaken to the fact that we're going to be behind. Instead of being out in front, we're going to be behind. So Mark, you know, I'm going to push our legislature to do as much as we possibly can. I'm going to push our revenue department to do as much as we possibly can, but do it smartly. I don't think 10% is a possibility at this stage, but I do believe that the revenue numbers are going to come in, and they're going to come in, I think, really, really close to 800 million, probably a little short of 800 million surplus, and it's unbelievable. And so we surely, to goodness, ought to be putting money back in the pockets of our people. We ought not be doing any pet projects and all that kind of stuff. We ought to put money back in the pockets of our people. And so at least a percentage of it anyway. So, Mark, I don't know exactly what that'll be right yet, but we're working it.
All right, thank you, Mark. Let's now take a question from Charles Young with WV News.
Hi, this is Charles Young with W News. Governor, just kind of staying along those same lines, the end of the fiscal year, what are some other uses you're currently considering for the nearly $800 million surplus? If a percentage of it would be going to additional tax cuts, do we have any other defined allocations at this point? Thank you.
Charles, you know, here's the thing. I can give you what my thoughts are, you know, and, you know, we always still have a need for infrastructure in the state, and we, you know, it seems like, you know, you pour hundreds and hundreds of millions of dollars into taking care, especially of our roads and everything, and making our roads better, and you turn around 2 or 3 times and you still got hundreds of millions of dollars to put in that, but we've surely got a 10 million times better road system today than we had before we walked in the door, and if we don't watch out and everything, we're going to, you know, we can't let us slip back, because, you know, Charles, you know what it was. I mean, for crying out loud, you couldn't go to the convenience store without tearing your car all to pieces. I've said it over and over. We sold our maintenance equipment, did we not? You know, and so to get us up and going to where we are today, big deal, and we need to continue to do more, and you know, we've invested bukus of money in the water and sewer projects, and all that's paid off, and we've taken dollars and spun it with federal dollars and increased it to many multiples of what we were able to do, and so all that's really good, you know. And Charles, we're looking at all of it, and we'll have a final list, but at the same time, we're trying to do everything we possibly can while putting money back in the pockets of our people. We're trying to do the smart stuff that really, at the end of the day, you know, will just make things better and better and better for all of us.
All right, thank you, Charles. Let's now take a question from Leah Willingham with the AP.
Hey, Governor, I know that you have been asked a few questions about this already this week, but I have to ask you about baby dogs inclusion in the Capitol mural. When and how did you find out? What do you and the First Lady think of it? And lastly, I don't know if you saw this, but your opponent in the Senate race, Glenn Elliott, tweeted he was in Wheeling as mayor of Wheeling when you were dedicating the Governor Borman statue, and said that while there you talked about baby dog and not Governor Borman, showing a, quote, total lack of respect for anything beyond yourself. Do you have a response to that? Thank you.
The only response that I would have is tell Glenn to get a life. I mean, for God's sakes, a living. You know, that's so ridiculous. It's off the chart. You know, I didn't bring Baby Dog with me up there. Lots and lots and lots of folks would have loved to have seen her, I'm sure, but at the same time, it was so hot, it was unbelievable, and so I opted out to not do that. You know, Arthur I. Borman, you know, our first governor, we made every tribute in the world to him. We spoke of, you know, how he was our governor right in the middle of the Civil War. Toward the end of it, I said 20 days before Gettysburg. You know, so many things, you know, so many things happened, and you know, that were really positive that day. But you've got a desperate politician that's going to absolutely lose by a landslide beyond belief, because the people of this great state know me. They know me. They know what I've done and everything, and they've helped me pull the rope in every single way. And you know, to be perfectly honest, the folks in Wheeling were great. I love Wheeling, and I mean that sincerely. You know, they've always been wonderful, wonderful folks to me. So you know, like I said, desperate politicians can do a lot of crazy stuff, and we'll just wish Glenn the best and go on down the road.
All right, thank you, Leah. Let's now take a question from Brad McElhaney with West Virginia Metro News.
Hi, Governor. Hope you're well. Governor, I will stipulate that your son and daughter run the family businesses, the justices eventually pay their bills, and that all is good in Jim's neighborhood. But last week, a federal judge ordered a move toward the sale of a holding company for a number of the Justice coal companies to satisfy debt to a Russian mining company. Those companies have been at the heart of your family business network for generations. Can you tell me the significance of this move? Thank you.
Brad, what I would tell you is, you know, if you're going to report something that's just basically a hit job, I'd do my job if I were you, you know, because the reality is just this, and here's all I can possibly say, you know, and that is you need to stay tuned and watch what happens. You also need to remember that the Russians bought Bluestone from our family and then turned it into the god-awfulest mess you've ever seen in the world. And it literally would have caused so much harm to a lot of great West Virginians, our environment, so many different things, taxes and on and on and on, that we've taken care of. And literally the dispute with the Russians and the idea that they can now, because of a federal judge has done this or that and everything, they can sell parts of Bluestone or whatever like that. The folks at Credit Suisse and UBS have the first in regard to all of this. You know, it's just something else for us to throw mud at Jim about and everything else, or you reporting everything. You got to do your job. You got to absolutely know that absolutely at the time we bought this back from the Russians, think about it. Think about what was out there. Think about the magnitude of the damage that they had caused to the environment, they had caused to people, they had caused to vendors, they had caused to as far as taxes, it cost everything, and who took care of all of it? And at the end of the day, I am telling you, when the point in time comes that we're siding with the Russians, I mean, you know, we're pretty daggum desperate.
Thank you, Governor. We'll turn it back to you.
No, I would like to go back, you know, and you know, only because I don't know that I completely answered the question in regard to Baby Dog in the mural and all that kind of stuff. Look, you know, Baby Dog has brought a lot of happiness, a lot of happiness all across the state. And I love it in every way that she's brought that level of happiness. and really and truly, and I wasn't a party to the putting Baby Dog in the mural. You know, I absolutely, I think really what they were trying to do is they wanted to put a dog in, and well, they had to pick some kind of dog, so they picked an English bulldog, long time ago and everything. Before we ever really became a country, the English were in charge and everything. It seemed kind of fitting, but as along the way, I was just as surprised in many ways as anyone, but our curator Randall Reed is with us today. Maybe he could shed a little light on it and everything. But with all that being said, I'd be lying to you if I didn't tell you. I mean, come on. Do we not have other stuff that's a little bit more important to be doing? And really and truly, here's something that that just to call it like it is, she brought a lot of joy. There'll be a lot of people that'll come in the Capitol and looking at the murals and everything and looking for her and everything. It's kind of a neat thing. I love it. I love it totally to death. And so just be happy. I mean, for crying out loud, do we not have enough to worry about? I mean, do we not have enough to take care of, to be taking care of people that are really having a tough way to go? Be happy. Just somebody be happy. I mean, Randall, you got anything to say?
Hi, Governor. First thing I want to say, thank you to everybody in the press, because people are coming to see those murals because of Baby Dog, because they love her. And Governor, I got 54 kids here at camp. They want to know when they get to meet Baby Dog. So we're all excited about that. But I do want to tell you about, really quickly, the process, because people have asked, were you involved? The only involvement that Jim Justice had in these murals is that he gave us the money to pay for these murals that had not been done in 92 years. And I thank you for that, Governor. And you had nothing to do with our little ad hoc committee who put together everything that when they brought the renderings, and there was no wildlife in this one thing. And we thought about putting the elk in, the cardinal, and then when somebody said dog, all 5 of us said Baby Dog. So that's how that happened, Governor.
Well, let me just add just this last little tidbit. Now think about this. Yesterday, and I wasn't going to say this, but I'm going to say it now. But yesterday, or Monday rather, we were at West Virginia University and sitting with 2 of the super scientists, the most intelligent people that you could ever possibly be with. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. That's all there is to it. Their level of smarts. What was the first thing they did? The first thing they did was come up to me and they had treats for Baby Dog. What was the last thing they did? Astrophysicists. The last thing they did, because I didn't take her in the building where people were, had her out in the vehicle. And so when they gave me the treats, I told them that and everything. And what was the last thing that these 2 astrophysicists that absolutely were so smart, it was unbelievable. One of them up for a Nobel Peace Prize. I mean, come on, give me a break. What was the last thing they did? They came up to me and said, Governor, do you care if we go outside where we can get a picture of Baby Dog? I mean, come on. Do we not in this state, can we not just share a little bit of fun, a little bit of happiness and everything? I mean, absolutely, I'm tickled to death. So, Randall, I think you did good. Be good. Thank y'all.